bifurcation happening between the haves and have-nots. Shopping is moving away from malls and really towards the largest retailers. If you look at the largest retailers in America, they're all growing better than the average consumer spending growth in the country. And so that's kind of an interesting dynamic for the smaller guys. For the most part, I would avoid anything in the mall and avoid department stores and really focus on those retailers that are setting themselves up for winning longer
And you
term.
say Walmart, Target, they're putting up their best numbers in a decade. Costco, TJ Maxx. I mean, I know TJ Maxx, you like, everyone likes TJ Maxx. What about some of the bargain discounters, the Ollie's, the Five Belows? Are those big enough yet to be exciting to you?
So, listen, I agree with Liz where the big get bigger. I don't know that it has to be a size conversation. I think it has to be a market share taking conversation. So anyone who's seeing this ability, this shift from department store donation, which is value, it's cool to shop cheap now. I mean, that's what TJ has shown us. It's not selling cheap clothing, it's expensive clothing cheap. So I would say that's the way we're looking at it. Amazon, TJ, we like Nike, so we can talk about that. And then if we want to get a little more exciting and a little dirtier, I think some of these brands have been oversold. So call it Capri, which owns Michael Kors, Tapestry, which owns Coach. They've just been sold far enough that if you're looking for that alpha, you're willing to dig a little bit. We put that on our barbell.
Are those names caught up in the China trade war, though?
Yeah, which is why they've been knocked down. So I would say
but they fully discounted that?
I guess there's no such thing as fully. They could be zero. But no, I think that the reality is we've seen a lot of complacency around the U.S. We've seen a lot of fear around the multinationals. So I think all things considered, especially the Capri, which has bought now Jimmy Choo, Versace, luxury brands that are essentially being priced for zero.
What does TJX do so well that others haven't figured out? My wife just took me over the weekend to HomeSense, which I'd never heard of.
Oh, is it better than Home Goods?
It's better than Home Goods.
It's more like furniture focused.
It's more furniture and furnishings than Home Goods.
Yeah, I was at a HomeSense yesterday, and it was fantastic. I bought a pillow because I always need more pillows, and. I think they are just they're tremendous at buying. They're tremendous at building stores, profitable stores, and I don't think it's necessarily all off-pricers are poised for greatness. I think TJ is by far. I think they're one of the best, if not the best,
really well.
retailer in America. And I think what's interesting about Home Goods and HomeSense is they attract, I think, a higher-end customer. There are a lot of friends that I have that wouldn't step foot in a Marshalls or a TJ, but they go to Home Goods and HomeSense for, decorative pillows and the like. And I think they're just a tremendous retailer.
I think, ironically, they're the anti-Amazon. So Amazon is the everything store. You can always go and get what you need at Amazon. At TJ, you have no idea. Right. So if you think about the TJ brands, if you don't grab it now, Tyler, it's gone. And there's that impulse, that treasure hunt, which was what shopping used to be, that we just don't have anymore. And they still force you to do it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some Nike. The company has pulled the Betsy Ross flag sneaker due to complaints. It was set to launch, obviously, with July 4th holiday coming up. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Colin Kaepernick behind the scenes exerted some influence on this decision, saying that he and others found that flag image offensive. Simeon, what's your reaction to this, especially with Nike being one of your picks here?
Yeah, so listen, there are obviously incredible sensitivities around this, and I would venture to guess that many people woke up.
But did you know that before this story?
So that's what I was going to say. I would venture to guess that a lot of people woke up today realizing or being informed that this is offensive. I'm going to
offensive because the symbol has been co-opted by some
white
supremacist fascist groups, not because there's a native rejection of the idea that this was the first American flag, or a little of both?
So this is above my pay grade, and I think we're all learning that, right? I think to figure out what makes it offensive, what made Colin Kaepernick make that decision, it seems like there's a few things which are coming out, but I think that's the point where last night we didn't necessarily know it, today we did. What is interesting is how fast Nike reacted, for better or worse.
What if they had stood up? So from the analyst point of view, this kind of fits with the most important thing to Nike is being young, being hip, being relevant, etc. What if they had stood up and said, we reject this categorization by this fringe movement? No, this is not what this flag represents. It's not our intention. Would that have harmed their brand image? Would there have been, now, are they going to be in a worse situation now by people who are upset that they kowtowed?
So maybe this is the harshest thing I can say. I don't know if it's going to matter for Nike. I think that we were on, whenever Kaepernick made the first comment. We spoke on this program about how negative or positive it was going to be, and it was irrelevant, right? Sales continued to grow.
Look at how they've done since Colin Kaepernick, since they've sort of tied their brand image a bit to Kaepernick. I think that they've obviously been performing, and I think that they realize that their customer base is very tied into the idea of being woke. We were talking about it a little bit in the green room, and I frankly hadn't considered the flag as an offensive symbol, and I didn't know about this link to white nationalism. However, as a black person, it took me 2.5 seconds to figure it out. I mean, this is points back to a time when that flag was not, it didn't mean independence for my ancestors.